Everybody, it's Jurgen Jays. This is my first video that I'm doing that's like an art video. So basically the way that these are going to work is they're going to be time lapses that I speed up just from VODs that I did of art process. So we're going to be taking like a look at a drawing today. We're going to be taking a look at an emote that I did. It's the last emote that I did for my Twitch page, actually. I mean, I'll be doing more in the future, but for the time being, at least, this is going to be the last one. Also, please be sure that you subscribe, like. As you can see, I'm very obviously a smaller content creator, so any support or anything like that, just to get me going and stuff over these past few months is greatly appreciated. And as we continue to move on in the future, and thank you guys who are watching so much, and also share it if you like it, please. All right, so we're gonna hop on over here. Like I said, we do have a emote that I recently did, and with it, I'm gonna walk you through at least this later bit here, me going through it. I kind of forgot to hit record for the first little bit, so all we really did for that first little bit was I had a sketch underneath that I'd already done, and then we went in and we just did ink with a big huge chisel brush that's like really rough looking and stuff, but when we export that as a PNG as an emote, it's fine. It's just going to completely black out sort of deal. And then I just put in like really basic flat colors, as you can see with the dragon. So without further ado, let's get into it. So you see I'm starting to work up into the lettering here. So I'd pulled up what you just saw, some reference and stuff for me to look at there. I'd pulled that over to my other screen because I didn't really know what I was doing in terms of the flame lettering for this like rage thing, because I wanted this to be kind of like the angry emote that my like chat users could use. So I decided that I wanted to go and do like a yellow outline for this as opposed to black, to hopefully maybe give it like a sense of it being really light and stuff like that, since it's, it's fire. I did later on decide to change this because it was just a little too bright, a little too much to look at compared to like the other colors, because I mean the other colors that are going to go on here are going to be like orange and red, as we'll see. So this is just me roughing in those letters. I'm not the best when it comes to lettering and stuff, and which is weird because that's what a lot of this is going to be, because this is the part that I really struggled with, was just this lettering and getting it to like a flame effect that I really liked, and messing around with that color and stuff. That was just me pulling up another emote I'd been working on, just showing my viewers and stuff. Anyways, I thought I'd cut that out, but oh well. So I'm now going through filling in that yellow outline with color. As I said, I wanted to progress into like an orange as like a mid-tone, and then a red as like a shadow for these flames. Granted, fire doesn't really have shadows, but it just kind of has shapes of different colors and stuff going on with it to represent, different heat levels in the flame. I don't need to explain the science of it. But I'll get into a little too, like how I went into like the shadowing and highlights and stuff with the dragon itself, because I did also struggle. I was just struggling with color with this one a lot, and just nailing it down and figuring it out. And you see me here trying to struggle to like make these flame shapes. I was initially like making very like long wavy shapes and stuff to try to do the flames, and I wound up, you'll see once I change out the color, I think for this outline, I wind up going back through those flames and completely changing out how I make them, and they make a really cool effect of like these little bits of flames that are kind of sparking out everywhere, and embers and stuff flying and stuff. That comes out a lot better. This is me attempting that shadow now with that red, and still really not happy with that color. I don't really know why I'm writing my name out down there. I completely forgot what I was doing with that. But I really wasn't happy with when I started putting the red into the lettering and stuff. Looking back now, it's not as bad as what I thought it had been in my mind at the time, but it's still not, I feel like, as good as what I got with the final result. You see me here starting to like change out that color and stuff like that. Um, and then I'm trying to put a little bit of like a Gaussian blur to see if that's going to help with like a cool like lighting effect, but it doesn't really work well with how like hard the rest of the like design is so far with the line work and like the really flats and stuff. The flat color midtone for the dragon. Um, so you see me start futzing again more just with the color, trying to figure this out. Eventually here soon I'll figure out that I just need to change it to black, hopefully. Hopefully. There we go. Okay. I knew it'd be soon. Then you just see me cleaning up because I didn't want the lines on those upper parts. All I did there was just alpha lock the layer and color it in, that kind of a thing. But now you'll see me, I think I start going back through and just completely redoing. Yeah, I'm just getting rid of all of the outside bits and just gonna completely redo it. Okay, I still was going for that long shape that I didn't really want. We'll see when I actually figure out what I'm doing here. Okay, I think so. You just see me, I'm building up a form and then I'm kind of erasing it down, and then I'm gonna wind up like layering these out. So you'll see like the colors kind of overlapping each other and stuff, and I think it winds up with a really cool effect. But I'm just roughing in just a really big chunk of color, not really caring what that looks like, and then I'm just narrowing it down with my eraser um, to give it kind of a more chiseled, sparky look to it, which I think is like a really nice contrast for like the big wavy letters that we have going on, and winds up working out a lot well. I'll be doing that for a moment. So while that's going on, I was gonna say, holy crap, my brain's blanking. I was gonna say why I wanted to start doing these like art time lapse things is because I feel like I want to explain a bit more of like my process and stuff than what I do in stream. Because a lot of times on stream, I'm just talking to like my chatters and stuff like that. But ultimately, long term, I would love to do some more like instructional type content and stuff like that. And I feel like videos like this where you get to see like process and you get to hear an artist like talk about process, to me at least, has always been really interesting to do and something I've kind of always wanted to do, and get people a little bit more into my head of like what I'm doing, what I'm thinking about, what my struggles are, because with each of these pieces that I do, like there's always, of course there's a car going by. Um there's always like a little bit of a struggle with it and stuff, um, to try to figure it out. So you see me like going in, trying to add this highlight. I think I wound up did keeping this like highlight on the flame lettering. I think I reduce it down quite a bit though, and might even change the color of that a little bit to make it a little bit brighter. But yeah, I just wanted to give a little insight on like process and stuff, and how that works specifically with me. And granted, this emote, the actual recording was only probably like an hour, I think. Um, when I took out like chunks of me like getting up out of my chair and stuff like that, and nothing going on. But we'll get into some longer ones and stuff like that too in the future. But let's see, what am I doing now? I don't really know. I'm just futzing around. Probably just talking to someone. Oh, come on, do something. Do anything. All right. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out now my lighting. Obviously, this makes it pretty easy with my light source being literally the giant flame that's in front of the face. So I'm going to be doing a flame like lighting, so using kind of like an orangey hue. I think I just have it like set on like a color dodge layer to pull out the color that I'm wanting. So I'm just going in with this orange and doing just really basic cell shading type of stuff. And um even still looking back on this piece, I'm still not 100% like cool with the color of it. And I think if I went back, I would actually just change out the red that this dragon originally is. It's leaning towards a bit more of a magenta, and I think I wanted a little bit more of a deeper red. But it's a little bit harder for me. For those of you who don't know, I'm colorblind, and specifically like the rod or cone, I can't remember which one it is that controls the red I see is the one that's like really diluted for me. So it makes it really hard to kind of distinguish these things, especially in the moment with no kind of frame and reference. So looking back, I probably would have changed that out for like a much deeper, like almost crimsony red, kind of closer to what's going on with the red and that flame. Um, Maybe a little bit more desaturated kind of a deal. Because again, the whole thought with this emote in general is just me trying to like evoke a sense of rage or anger with it, sort of deal. So that's why I wanted these like a lot of red going on with it, which I think could have been pushed, as I said, a lot more than what it did in hindsight. So I'm just going through and doing that cell shading. I did not land on this color. I wound up changing this color out a couple of times just because this red as the shadow just felt um kind of a weird contrast to have with the highlight. So you'll see me try to color it in a few different ways. And I wind up settling, I think, on this like kind of purpley color that bounces off of like the yellow and stuff that we have going on in the flames, and even on the highlights of the teeth there a little bit more, and even kind of that orange. There you go. I think that's the color I wind up settling on. Um, and even too doing like maybe another pass over this with like another multiply layer with the same color and just maybe turning opacity down so that way it wasn't too dark or anything might have been good. But definitely having an extreme contrast would have been really helpful. And I mean, it does push a contrast with it, but just not as wildly of one as I want. Granted, there is a lot of light and stuff going on here, but this is all just stuff that like I wish I could have done in hindsight. But now I'm too lazy to go back and change anything. It's already been uploaded to Twitch and all that because I've been procrastinating on making this video. I was kind of nervous about just straight up just talking to the camera without really having like um chat or anything to like bounce off of the entire time, and filling that in with my voice, and especially doing commentating over something that I already like thought about. Okay, maybe I did come back through with a second multiply layer. I couldn't remember. Um Maybe I don't keep this because I feel like, I don't know, this feels alien to me. Oh, I also have Pokemon in my chat, so that's what that notification is for that pops up occasionally. Is people who come in, they get to like catch Pokemon and stuff. It's a cool little extension. And I wind up talking about it nonstop. Anyways, um you see me, I'm still not quite happy with that highlight color going on, and I think I wind up doing another slight highlight layer over top of that to push it. So I was playing around with changing the color a little bit there, and then eventually settled on that. I needed to kind of boost that highlight since the flame is right there on top of it, trying to push it into like a yellowy orange kind of look to it. And I wound up going with a pretty gentle color difference over that top of that. I felt like anything more than that was a little bit too extreme and a little too harsh up against the like magenta and purple going on behind it, and almost like made it, contrast is always great, and sometimes you can really push into really extreme, but it has to be like, you know, black on top of white, like right there next to each other. And this is a little bit more gradual, and with the colors I used, I feel like pushing into that contrast wasn't as beneficial for me. um Granted, I probably could have, with color it feels like you really can do anything, you just have to sit there and play with it long enough. So I'm sure if I'd sat there and played with it long enough, I would have wound up with something that I would have really enjoyed. Um, and I believe we're coming to close to the end here with it. This is just me probably talking towards the end of my stream and stuff like that, trying to get that done. But I think that's more or less. Oh, wait, nope. I'm going back in, trying to do more highlights and stuff. Never mind. Ignore me. I can't tell how much longer this video has, so I'm just going to talk until until it stops, sort of deal. Um, Still playing with that highlight color. I think I'm just changing out the blend mode of the layer to see if I can get something better. I'm going back through and trying to add more highlight into it and stuff. Didn't apparently like that kind of a thing. I mean, a lot of art, I mean, and any artist can tell you that this is just it's just a big experiment from piece to piece, and you really don't know. I mean, you know what you're doing, sort of, but there's a bit of it where you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know how quite something is going to look. So you just have to put it down and see how that's going to turn out for you. And if you don't like it, you just undo it, erase it, paint over it, whatever the case may be, and kind of move on from it. But yeah, that winds up being the end of the video. This is an emote that I currently have that you can use on Twitch and stuff for me. But yeah, once again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked the process stuff and me talking about it. I'm planning on doing a lot more of these in the future with anything that I do, like on stream, even stuff that I do off stream, with just so long as it's digital work. I plan on recording it and just talking over it like this. Let me know if you guys thought it was interesting, anything that you'd like me to like cover a little bit more in depth with these in the future. Granted, I don't normally do emotes and stuff like that. Like the ones that are coming up are more like character design based, which is kind of more my element sort of a deal. But like I said in the beginning of the video, if you enjoyed it and everything like that, please like, subscribe for when I come out with more of these, also just for the gaming stuff that comes out. And if you're interested in being there in person whenever this stuff is being made, including like the gaming and stuff like that, be sure to check out the Twitch that's linked down below as well. And I really appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Praise the chair.